How I'm going to do my intro, I don't know, man.
I think about it.
Or maybe you should do it.
Hello, fellas. I hope you are ready for your daily dose of death.
Okay, anyway, intro done. What is up, guys? Welcome to our first episode together, right?
Good day, fellas.
World of Tanks Tier 10 Tank Tier List. We are going to go over every single Tier 10 in the game at the moment. Hopefully, we're not missing anything. I hope so, I don't know. If we do, of course, you guys are going to let us know in the comments. And we are going to put them into different brackets, you see. Broken, hyper good, good, solid, situational, bad, recycle bin, then a little gap, and artillery. Skill is most interested about this one, as he has said many times this is his favorite class in the game. Am I right?
Obviously, I even have my secret account where I'm marking articles while having one hand in. You don't need to know that.
Okay, I don't need to know that, yeah. And by the way, guys, before we move on, there is a little link in the description where you can find Skill4ltu's YouTube channel. And we have to make his YouTube channel or we have to get his YouTube channel over 50,000 subscribers. So please go click on it, click subscribe, and you are not going to regret it. Am I right?
I'm blushing now. I will pretend I did not hear that, okay?
Okay, anyway, let's get going and let's go over nation by nation. Like, at first we thought we were going to go over them by artillery, or should we start with artillery right away? You, as a guest, you have the main word.
We can simply start with art, or we can start from the Chinese tanks and go down, whatever. It's completely up to you. For me, it doesn't matter. Art have their own unique class, which is very, very skillful, so it doesn't matter.
I see. I like, we can hear you love artillery. Anyway, let's start with the Chinese vehicles. So, first tank going into the tier list is 121. Tier 10. Tier 10 Chinese medium tank. What do you think about this one after they introduced 430U? And of course, there is one obvious thing you have to keep in mind. This entire episode, this entire tier list is based on our opinion, based on our experience in the game, what we think about those tanks, what we think about these broken, overpowered, bad, recycle bin worthy vehicle. Everything is based on our opinion, so you can feel 100% differently. Feel free to do that. People are different, playstyles are different, your tier list may be 100% different. Keeping that in mind, enjoy the episode.
I don't know how about you, but it would be bad or a recycle bin, because it's way worse than 430U in pretty much every single aspect, so this tank do not have his place in the game anymore, in my opinion.
Not even situational? Like this alpha damage is
okay,
actually
let's
quite
try
sexy.
to compare that. We know the 430U have more armor, mobility is pretty much the same, and 430U is just better in pretty much every single aspect, apart DPM if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is better than 430U, but comparing it to like all the rest of the tier 10 medium tanks. Okay, let's leave it into bad. We can always move them later.
Obviously, sure.
Okay, we can always move them later. Next up, we have 113. This actually, when they first introduced it, it was actually like really awesome. One of the first, not one of the first, maybe one of the first like heavy medium tank in this game.
Indeed. And it used to be one of the best heavy tanks, but when it was 5A came, it just became way worse. Let's say like that.
Solid. What do you think about Solid? It is still, it still has its place. It doesn't, or it didn't lose its place as hard as 121 did, but it still has its shiny moments.
I agree with this one. A solid for sure.
Solid banana out of 10, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, next up, 121. Sorry, not 121. 132 light tank.
You know what is the funny thing? I think this light tank, if you remember when this light tank came into the game, like tier 10s came into the game, it used to be the best light tank out of all. But then they decided to move the rest of the light tanks, and now it's one of the worst light tanks in the game. Okay, I would agree with this selection as a bad vehicle. I would agree with that.
Yeah, it was my, like, I had a little nickname on it as well on my channel, Bulldozer. It was like ramming light tank. I had awesome amount of fun using like Liner on it, ramming crew skills. I had a lot of fun when it first came out. It had 390 alpha damage, I think. The only vehicle with 390, and after they buffed all the rest of the ones, it definitely is not the best anymore. So, yeah, bad. Okay, so now, next up, Chinese tier 10 tank destroyer. Is it situational, like when you can get into complete hull down position, holding one city block, one street? Is it situational over there?
Sure. The thing is, this vehicle have gun handling, which is trolling you quite a bit, but armor is actually working on the lower tiers, and there is always situation for you when you can pretty much use your gun depression, and you can farm the enemies, which is making mistakes and going in front of you. Sure, it can be situational, but one or another way, it's very, very... I have a very mixed relationships with this vehicle. Believe me, I hate it with all my heart, but I would say it is situational.
Okay, situational. Yeah, let's keep it like that. And now your favorite tier 10 heavy. Let's start from here and let's move up.
I will give you. Let's start here. Okay. The thing is, I recently marked this vehicle up to 100%. And this tank is amazing. I really love it, but it's very, very, very hard tank to play with. I believe majority of the people would agree this vehicle is better than 113, so I would put that into the good tank, but it's very hard to play with.
In my opinion, it is either good or hyper good. But yeah, we can start from good and maybe later we can switch it up a bit.
Sure thing.
We'll see, but definitely it is good at, like, till the least where it should be is the good tab.
Sure, I would agree with you 100%.
Okay, so we're done with the Chinese vehicle. We have one good, one solid, one situational, and two bad. Okay, not too bad. Chinese Tech 3, not too bad overall, I would say. Okay, no artillery, sadly. Hopefully Wargaming, please fix it. We would like to get full Tech 3. Chinese artillery as well. Copy pasta from Russians, for example. Anyway, Czechs. Only one tank over here. TVP. This is a really good vehicle in my opinion.
Same. It's hard to play, but if you are finding enemies which is making mistakes 4.5 seconds and you are bursting people for 1.3 thousand damage, it's awesome. It's
1.3 thousand damage plus that awesome reload time for the clip. This is actually so worth it. I would give it at least good. It is not like hyper good.
Same, I would agree with you. Okay, very nice.
Alright, so next up let's move into the French Tech 3 where we have... Oh boy, I didn't know we had so many tier 10 Frenchies, but oh well. First up is EBR 105, and I already know where it should be. Not over here, not over here. Let's move up, let's move up, let's move up, let's move up. And are we going to move up by one tier?
I would say, you know, this is very, very controversial vehicle. Because the speed on this vehicle is completely broken. The wheels, tracks, or however you are calling the tires, they are absorbing a lot of damage. You have insanely good accuracy on the move. and in the worst case scenario, you can YOLO in front and spot half of the enemy team. We saw a lot of situations, and it's bloody hard to hit those vehicles in the long distance or even in the close distance. So I would say it is completely broken or it's art. It's up to you.
I would say it is actually because of the speed, because of the handling, how it can turn and stuff like that. It is actually broken.
I would agree with you, my friend. The speed is making this tank completely silly, and the combination of the things is extremely good. And plus, on top of that, majority of the people hate wheeled vehicles, and majority of them is calling them wheeled rats, and so on, so on. So it's broken.
Wheelchairs. Wheelchairs is another nickname for it.
Oh yes.
Okay,
looks
so
like you are watching Skill4 stream from time to time.
yeah, and it has actually been carrying over to other streamers as well.
Oh, very nice.
Okay, so our first broken tank in this game.
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Next up, AMX 50B, tier 10. Where to put this one? Tier 10 auto-loading heavy tank. Was this our first tier 10 auto-loading heavy tank? Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yes, I believe this was a very first auto-loading heavy, and as wrong as it sounds, when all those years passed, I don't really think this vehicle is super bad or disgusting or unplayable, because it has speed and it has extremely good gun handling. But nevertheless, it's very hard tank to play with. Plus, it is requiring a lot of APCRs to play well or perform well. So this vehicle, in my opinion, is either solid or either situational in the current game meta.
I agree. I would say it is situational because it is actually a tier 10 heavy tank which depends on the map so much, in my opinion.
And on the team, and you are pretty much supporter heavy tank, if we can say so. You are not even heavy. Your armor is, you don't have any armor whatsoever. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So situational is good. You agree?
Definitely yes.
Okay. Awesome. Next up, oh, your lover, Badger 25T. How many battles do you have with Badger 25T, by the way?
Over 4,000 battles, I assume, and that was very first tank with which I fell in love with, and it is the hybrid between the medium tank and light tank, and this vehicle can defend himself because it has like 1.950 damage per clip and so on. This vehicle used to be amazing, now it's way worse because we have way more light tanks in the game. So in the best case scenario, this tank could be a solid one, I guess.
I agree. The gun handling has just fallen so far behind. In my opinion, gun handling is kinda killing it. Mobility, view range, scouting abilities, capabilities, damage, clip damage potential, everything is over there, but many times you are not able to use your full clip. If you're lucky, you're able to hit and penetrate 3 shots out of 5, because the gun handling is so freaking terpy.
I would go with you with this one, and let's leave it in a solid section.
Yeah, because it is your favorite.
Thank you.
Next up, another your favorite, artillery. We have a special tab for the artillery. 2 words, or actually 1 word, autoloader. Well, kinda 2 words. Autoloading. Yeah, go.
Go for it. Go for it.
Auto-loading artillery, the only auto-loading artillery which shouldn't deal a lot of damage, but it deals some damage, plus stunning. Enough said, I believe.
This art is not doing too much damage, but it is annoying. Oh boy, if you are getting catch on track with this vehicle, it is not the funnest thing to deal with, and it's just annoying. Let's put that in this way.
Yeah. Annoying, okay. So this one seems like it is a bit, this tank has a bit fatter gun, so this is, let's say Foch 155. Icon seems to be the same, but let's say this is Foch 155.
Sure thing.
Where would you put it?
this vehicle have the name of the 750 DPM. Usually you are hitting one shot with a magazine. And it's very, very, very bad vehicle in my opinion. It's not flexible, it's quite terrible. In the best case scenario, it would be bad. Obviously, there is those battles when you can clip out your opponents. 2.250 damage out of clip, hip hip hooray, but those battles is happening very, very rarely in my opinion. So, I mean, situational or bad?
It is more... Like, it is more bad than situational. It can be situational, but it is not as situational as AMX-50B, for example. Simply because of this gun handling. The firing arc is actually what kills this tank the most, in my opinion. You do not have too much flexibility to the left, to the right side. You always have to move your hull, and when you do move your hull in this tank, you start aiming once again. And many times the enemy is already long gone.
I am so happy I don't need to mark this tank with high explosives.
Don't even start it. But well, we are 80% at least at the moment. Like, this is my...
Very nice.
I don't know. Anyway, AMX Foch B.
In my opinion, it's a bit better than other Foch. It's maximum situational, but now when I'm looking into the tanks which we have right there, I would say 50B is definitely better than Foch B, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we need to add like 10 more tabs over here. Situational good, situational bad. I don't know. It is definitely better than Foch 155 or a bit more reliable, but let's say it is actually quite good in situational tab if you are using full APCR loadout.
Sure thing, I would agree with you.
Okay, so we kind of saved ourselves over here.
Very nice.
Next up, AMX 30B, which has the best DPM in tier 10 now after they buffed it, or they're thinking about buffing it. Well, they were talking about buffing it, but I believe they didn't buff it, right?
I think they changed this vehicle. I think like 1 year ago or something, and I can't. To be honest with you, I can't remember that. I played with this vehicle recently. It is very interesting tank. It's not bad. It's not good. It's somewhere in the middle, as wrong as it sounds.
Solid, I would say.
Oh no. No, I mean, I would disagree with it. In the best case scenario, it would be situational. The main thing what is killing this vehicle is the turret. The gun handling, I mean cupola. The gun handling of this vehicle is not bad whatsoever, but the Arta can penetrate you for 1000. You can't trust your armor by any means. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's situational at tops. At the best, let's say like that.
But DBM is crazy good actually on this tank.
Indeed it is, but I can't imagine how this tank would be better than 50B, to be completely honest with you, my friend.
Okay, agreed. Situational. Yeah, it actually is situational, because if you are able to use this DPM on some maps, in some positions, then it is solid. If not, it is, like, once again, situational. It depends on many things. On many factors. Okay.
Sure thing, I would agree with you on this one.
Sexy. Next up, tier 10 French, heavy tank, non-auto loading, meaty gun. It has 2 different gun options. By the way, which gun do you prefer? Bigger gun? Big one, okay. So, like, I would say those 2 things over here. Is it solid?
Definitely. No, it's not solid. Not a chance. The thing is, The story behind this tank is when you are getting the tier 9 vehicle, you are destroying everyone. You are the most fluffy cat in the field and you are feeling very, very good. But whenever you are getting a tier 10, you are getting a big disappointment. First of all, you are getting way worse matchmaking, and your tank is pretty much the same and you are gaining a bit of alpha damage. And penetration of the big gun is very, very low, even with the gold shells. So it's not very good vehicle in my opinion. The tier 9 is 10 out of 10. This one is not so good.
In nowadays meta, yeah, it doesn't hold up. Okay. So once again, we can come back later and we can switch just to see how things work.
Sure thing.
How things are. Now, this one is at least solid, so let's start from here. It is actually, I would say, my favorite tier 10 light tank.
Same.
So, I would say it is actually good. At least.
Sure thing. I would agree with you on this one. It is good tier 10 light tank, but EBR is kind of killing the light tank play nowadays, because EBR can actually outspot the light tanks, auto aim, and EBR can penetrate by 500. It's not the best light tank in the world of tanks now, that's for sure, but it's definitely playable. Although I must tell you that the 1390 is better tier to tier than 13105.
Yeah, I agree. So we are done with Frenchies. One
Very
broken,
nice.
Good, solid, many situational tanks. So French Tech 3, all in all, is kind of situational. If you're
And a
not
bit
playing
broken.
with... Yeah, and a bit broken. Situational and a bit broken. And it has one bad gem in it as well. And artillery. Okay. Now, next up, let's move on into the German tanks and Guerrilla 15. Where to put it?
Guerrilla, I don't know how about you, my friend, but for me, Guerrilla 15 is the best tank destroyer out there, at least, which is fitting with my style. So I would go either with a solid, either with good.
Yeah, I liked the mobility, I liked the gun handling. It has the best possible accuracy in tier 10 if we are not including STRV or siege mode. It has the best accuracy what you can always use. You do not have to dive into the siege mode. It has a turret, it has penetration, alpha damage. Yeah, it is good. It is good tank destroyer.
And it has RNG. Sometimes when you are full aiming, you are missing your shots. But other than that, everything is a very, very good with this vehicle.
RNG is a feature. It is
Which
not
I
fun.
love.
Yeah. Oh boy, what do we have over here? Do we have a little recycle bin action? Well, actually, it is the fastest. It is the fastest tier 10 light tank if we're not thinking about broken EBR. So maybe it saves it from the recycle bin. By the way, this tank has the lowest win ratio at the moment.
I don't know how about you, but I would put it in a recycle bin. I would get some gasoline and I would burn this vehicle. It is one of the most disgusting tanks in the game. It looks on the paper quite nice. The gun is kind of okay, the speed is fine, everything would be Gucci, but in reality it's not the case. Plus on top of that, it has the name of the flip wagon. You can flip yourself in the straight road, so I would put that into the trash can, because it's just simply the worst, or one of the worst tier 10 light tanks nowadays.
So this tank is the fastest light tank. It actually has the most view range as well, 420 meters. Is this not going to save this tank?
And it has ability to roll over on the flat ground. No, I would say it is a recycle bin. And we need to start somewhere, and in the end of the day we can move it if we really want it. But I mean, now looking into this section and everything, what do you think, which tank is better? The Chinese light tank or the flip wagon?
Enough said. Let's move on. Panzerkampfwagen 7. I'm listening, Skill.
Oh, you are listening for me. Very nice. I was thinking what you are going to say about this. Funny fact, this vehicle, at least for me, it is my favorite super heavy from the Germans because not everyone knows how to penetrate it and the gun handling is quite nice. But it is not worth more than situational in the best case scenario. I don't know, maybe solid, but I have very mixed thoughts about this vehicle. How about you? What is your opinion about this tank?
Gun is nice, and it is actually quite annoying if this tanks, if it is played by like really good player, it can be one of the most annoying tanks to kill. Like, it is definitely annoying in situations, in some situations. I don't know if it is worth solid though. What is the DPM of this tank? We have a little cheat sheet on the left side, 2100 DPM. So gun is definitely nice. Jagdtiger's gun, right? 560 alpha damage.
Looks like it. I would put it into the solid. I mean, this vehicle is the fastest out of the German super heavies, and the armor, especially against the lower tiers, can troll people quite a bit. So let's keep it on solid for now.
Yeah, let's keep it on solid, because lower plate is actually... Many people do not know that lower plate is not a weak spot on this tank. Like, lower plate, when faced straight on, has 260-70 millimeters thick armor, so you need quite a meaty gun. But if it is side scraping, then you can shoot the turret ring, right?
Yes, and the shoulders, if I'm not mistaken, and the frontal mantlet next to the gun, and to the right or into the left, can't remember that now.
Yeah. Okay, solid it is. Next up, mouse. Mouse.
I played with a mouse the other day. And I had a blast. Arta had a blast too. People, you know, there was extremely nice comment which described this vehicle. With a mouse, you are like a stripper, and everyone is throwing money at you because everyone is shooting gold, you know? So...
Yeah, in my opinion, it is... I would say it is solid, actually, because it is super heavy. It plays like a super heavy, it acts like a super heavy, and if you use full premium rounds, it is definitely solid. You can dish out damage as well. After they buffed it, yeah, I don't know, I think it is solid.
It is completely... the thing is, I would put this mouse into the in the best case situational section, just because there is open maps, and in the mouse and with the mouse you are kind of useless. Arta is fapping on you all day, all night long, and the gameplay with the mouse is very interesting, let's say like that. In the city you can perform extremely good, but in the field, in the open field, you are useless. But I mean, it is your spreadsheet, so if you think it's solid, let it be. Let's put it there.
This is why we are here. This is why we're both over here. We are here to find out the middle ground. You do not... Like, I am not the alpha over here.
Oh, excuse me, I thought we were married, and you know. Okay, let's meet in the middle then, from solid to situational, because once again, in the city map it would perform better than the same 113, but in the open map it would perform way worse than the same 113, for example. So I would go with a situational in the best case scenario. You can bully lower tiers, but tier 10s in World of Tanks in 2019, where everyone is having a lot of you know, premium ammunition and everything, and let's get real. Okay, what is your thoughts when you are seeing mouse in the enemy team? What you are thinking?
Experience, credits, damage.
I'm
thinking the same. I'm thinking the same about many tanks. Like in my 183, when I see Badget, oh, I'm like, please come here. Easy penetration, easy damage. Like, I want to see Badget on the enemy side when I'm playing with 183. But when I'm playing with 183, I do not want to see too many mouses, because I'm able to deal only like 550, 600 damage. No, non-penetration.
Okay, fair enough. Let's keep it in solid then for now. It's okay.
Okay, let's keep it in solid for now. For now. We can, like, I don't know, maybe I might be biased over here, but I like mouse, actually. It is nice vehicle.
It's okay. I mean, everything is fine. We can tune everything up after we are done.
Yes. E100. E100, in my opinion, with standard AP rounds is bad. With full heat, it's situational or solid. Situational.
I would go with a solid with this one. You know why? Because let's get real. Majority of the people, imagine situation, you are meeting mouse. Who will win the battle, E100 or mouse? E100 have more alpha damage, and with E100 you can kind of side scrap a bit. And one or another way, I think E100 is just pulling this out just a bit, just because of the heat ammunition. Let's say like that.
E100. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Go for it. Go for it.
E100. Well, they have identical DPM almost. If they go 1 versus 1, yeah, who wins? Like, who has better crew skills, pretty much? Who has a bit better reload time?
Or who can trade better? I don't know. I mean, E100 can work, but in the same time, it's a big pain in the ass, and majority of the people is thinking about this vehicle as a meatball when it's seeing it in the battlefield. But just because of the alpha damage, maybe it can be up to solid. Okay,
let's go. I got the mouse into solid. You got E100 into solid.
Okay, fair enough.
We did meet in the middle. Artillery, like, about this artillery, I have absolutely nothing to say. I don't know.
Slow meatball.
Yeah. Panzer E100.
Better known as Jack Pizda.
Jack Pizda. Sniper Schnitzel.
I don't know, my friend. I would say everyone is afraid of Jack Pizda whenever they are seeing it, and whenever they know they have Jack Pizda have a shot. But if this tank is landing the shot somewhere, usually it's enjoying the quality. Yeah. I would say it is quite either situational, either bad tank. 1 out of 2.
I wouldn't say it is bad. It is situational. I would say it is situational. Sometimes when I'm playing with it, I actually think it is solid. With full HE.
Okay.
Well, it is not worse than Chinese tier 10 tank destroyer.
I agree with you.
So, if we have to move something away from this, it is not going to be this one, it has to be this one. Agreed?
Agreed. So we can do that now. Yes. I wanted to get rid of this Chinese tank destroyer so much, you have no clue. It was damaging my heart, okay?
Okay.
Nice.
As we said, we are going to fix as we go, and we had to start from somewhere. And now, when we have more vehicles over here, we can compare those vehicles to each other even more. Okay, so my lover E50M. Oh, this is such a bad, or not such a bad, such a good rammer. I love to ram with it. I'm having fun with it. I don't know why, but for me, this vehicle works super nicely. I love it even, maybe. Like, this is just my personal opinion. It somehow works.
What you are talking about? This vehicle is bad. It's the weakest tier 10. I don't know, I hear that somewhere. One or another way, my friend, I would say it is good vehicle even nowadays, because the armor is working quite okay on this vehicle. Against the lower tiers, you can go in front and you can kind of brawl with them. And against the higher tiers, you can always pick either you are a sniper schnitzel or either you are making pressure when your team needs it. It's good vehicle nowadays.
Yeah, it has the penetration, 270 millimeters penetration, no joke. It has crazy accuracy. It has 390 alpha damage. View range is decent, 400. Not the best, not even close. 8 degrees of gun depression. So it is kind of flexible, 60 top speed as well. Yeah, it is good.
Very nice.
Okay.
And now the Leopard 1.
Oh, beautiful. After what they did after the buffs in 1.6.1 or 1.6, I don't remember. Anyway, that was beautiful.
I think if you really like to snipe from the back and you like to relocate, use your mobility, your map knowledge, and even using your gun depression and stuff, it can be very, very good vehicle if you know what you are doing. So it is good tank in my opinion.
Yeah, it is definitely good. It that increased alpha damage, 278 millimeters of penetration. Like everything is working. This is really, really good. Well, I like it now. Mobility as well. Okay, now VK. Is this our first Clan Wars reward vehicle in the list? Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so let's start from the middle.
Okay. I have nothing to say about this vehicle just because when I was marking this tank, I marked the pre-buffed version, sorry. So I have nothing to say about it. I don't know how this tank is performing. I don't know. I know the gun handling is derpy. That's what I know.
Like it is like E100, which doesn't have such a terrible lower plate. I do not own this vehicle, so I cannot talk too much about it either, but you have remarked it like every single tank in this game. So it has the same DPM as E100, so having the same DPM as E100, a bit better lower plate. Turret ring is actually kinda baity on this tank. If people are kinda used to shooting Panzerkampfwagen 7 into the turret ring, which is a weak spot when it is side scraping right. And when they see this vehicle, they kinda think the same, and it is not going through because turret ring is a lot stronger.
I would say this vehicle is good actually, but it's very specific vehicle to play with because rear mounted turret tanks, it's hard to play with.
But is it good only with heat?
I would say yes. I remember when I played with this vehicle, the gun was trolling me extremely hard. That's what I remember.
So, like, if you're using AP and heat, solid, good tab?
Sure, let's leave it there. It's okay.
Okay. Now we have one really beautiful tank. Spaghetti 65. Progetto 65.
I might be biased on this tank. I love it with all my heart.
I know where you put it.
Yeah. I think it's very flexible. I think armor can be trollish. I think it is perfect for the current game meta because the games are going very quickly, and you have a burst of fire. You can shoot one by one to have maximum DPM and everything. I think it's hyper good, but it's hard tank to play with. It's way harder tank to play with than budget or TVP in my opinion, if you want to play well.
Agreed. As you said, it has everything. We have such a fast-paced games in nowadays world of tanks, but this tank can keep up with those fast-paced games, and this is why it is. Like, I recently researched it as well on my main account finally, and I'm enjoying it. It is extremely good.
And it has a high explosive ammunition of like 90 or 100 penetration. You should use it from time to time. Another idea for your episodes in YouTube.
Okay. And so definitely, is it better than everything over here so far?
I would say yes.
Yes, then it is in the good tab. Okay, moving on. Japanese, we have two Japanese skis over here. STB1. One of the sexiest looking tanks in this game. After they buffed it, it is solid, at least solid, but in my opinion, but what do you have to say? By the way, this tank now has the best gun depression in tier 10.
I would say it is good vehicle just because of the gun depression, and DPM is not bad by any means. I would say it's good tank. It's situational, but it's very good. Because you have nice DPM, because you have gun depression, and you have very respectable accuracy, it would be good in my opinion. And once again, it is fast tank, and nowadays the speed, in my opinion, is very, very important.
Yeah, it is fast, but not the fastest mobility. Like if I remember, let's see, let me quickly check. Yes, 50 kilometers per hour top speed is not the fastest, but it has really good power to weight ratio, and it moves like Jagger, pretty much. So it is good. Yeah, definitely. They did good job buffing it, like with Leopard 1. They wouldn't be so high before the buffs. But like before the buffs, without his new suspension system and old gun, this gun was just so fucking derpy.
In the best case scenario, they would be either situational or either bad before.
Yeah, true. Okay, so really nice. And Type 5 heavy. Hello.
I would
Type
say
5.
it is a meat pinata. There is two guns which you can use. Derp gun, which is completely useless against the tier 10s, or you can use the 600 alpha damage gun. But why to play with a Type 5 heavy when there is the same E100 or the same Panzer in the game, or the same Vaka clan versus Rever tank in the game? I don't know. Penetration is not super good of this vehicle, if I remember that correctly, like 280 with full gold, if I'm not mistaken. And everyone is treating you like meatball, like piñata. Against the lower tiers you can bully lower tiers, but against the higher tiers everyone will go through you like hot knife through the butter. So
yeah,
I don't have anything to say.
You simply do not have that DPM. Like this tank is not reliable, in my opinion. It is situational at best. And what would make it situational is when it faces tier 8s and you can bully those tier 8s.
Sure.
So let's leave it into situational for now, or let's move down to bad. Like, looking at tests, is it the same? In my opinion, it is way worse than AMX-30B.
And it's way worse than AMX heavy tank. I would rather play with AMX than Type.
Okay, bad.
Very nice.
60 DP. Solid, definitely. In my opinion, it is like, I don't know how you feel about it, but in my opinion, it is like improved E100. Slightly improved E100.
The main difference between E100 and this one, gun handling was trolling me a lot. I was using ventilations, rammer and stabilizer to boost and maximize the gun handling, but it trolled me quite a bit. But it's good tank. I mean, it's better than E100 in my opinion, in majority of the cases.
Yeah, but not too much better, even though gun handling is actually better than on E100. Accuracy is better. I don't know about the aiming time. Let's see. Aiming time is not as good, but yeah, accuracy is better at least.
Could be. When I'm saying how do I feel about the tank, I'm saying what kind of experience I had when I was playing with it. I would say it's solid, or either solid, either good. 1 out of 2.
Yeah, let's leave it to solid for now, and yeah, we can always come back. SDRV,
I would say it is either solid or either good. The main reason of all this is the best sniper schnitzel in the tier 10. If you have the position where enemies are going on you, you are very, very strong. And you can deal with whatever tank you want, right? The camo is kind of broken on this vehicle. DPM, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the best, or if not the best in the tank destroyers. Accuracy, it is the best of the tank destroyers. And outspotting a stairway is pretty much impossible. If it's sitting in the bush and the person which is playing with this tank have the good, if he knows the game mechanics. Obviously, if you are playing in the Himmelsdorf, it's not very fun tank to play, so it can be either solid, either good. It's up to you.
Okay, yeah, you make many good points. It has second best DPM after Badger in tier 10. So the best accuracy but it has the best accuracy only when it is in the siege mode. Camo, indeed. I actually forgot about the camo, so definitely it is solid at least. Camo can be so broken. What else? Penetration, standard penetration. You do not have to spam too many gold rounds, so you can actually save some money doing that, playing with this tank. So, like we do not have any tank destroyers in the solid to compare it to, but is it better than all those? Well, they are so different. Is it as good as Guerrilla 15?
In certain situations, it's better than Guerrilla 15. In certain situations, it's worse. I would. They are equal opponents, in my opinion. But once again, it's only me.
Okay.
We can always move it down, or we can always move it up. All good.
We can always do that. We can always do that. Granvan, let's start from here. After they buffed it, in my opinion, they did really good job. When I tested this tank out, I loved it. I actually couldn't stop playing with it on the test server. I don't know why, but it feels super solid.
It's
for
either
me.
solid or either good, at least for me. And it's not. I'm not a big fan of this vehicle. I would rather play with a 50B, but it's not about me. It's about what tank is capable of. Quite good DPM, quite annoying gun handling, at least for me, but quite good armor. I would say either it's solid, either it's good.
In my opinion, it's better than E160DP mouse, so like I think it is good. I think it deserves spot in the good tab.
Sure.
Urus 1516.
Either it's good, either it's hyper good. Just because the turret is very hardly penetratable. Alpha damage is 420 or 440, can't remember that. And it is amazing. It's actually very good. The weaknesses of this tank is when people are shooting high explosives at you when you are perfectly using your position, or Arta, because Arta can penetrate you whenever you are hold down or whatever. It's amazing. Have you played with this vehicle recently?
Yeah, I have it, and I like it as well. I'm not going to say I love it, but I see how it can be really good. I wouldn't say it is hyper good, simply because, yes, you have that amazing gun depression, but this gun depression is not as fast gun depression as the normal gun depression in this game. Sometimes it can be quite a tricky gun depression to use at max when you're trying to use the maximum gun depression. You know, it is not reacting as fast.
Sure thing. What is now the most important thing? What tank is better, STB1 or UDES?
Oh, fun. You got me off guard. Which tank is better? I'm going to be 100% honest. I like STB1 more, but maybe UDES is better.
Okay.
Most likely UDES is better, but I like STB1 more. I don't know why.
So, since we are so different, let's leave those vehicles next to each other, and we'll see. Maybe we will do some tuning in the end of this. It's getting more and more interesting. That's nice.
I think we have to add one more tab fairly soon. Like, I don't know, in the middle of good and solid, in the middle of hyper, we have to add different situationals as well. Oh God, this like. Let's move on. I know what to do with this one. Recycle bin it is. Any comments?
There is no comments, and they are equal opponents. Either Panzerwagen or Shitcore, both of them is garbage. The main reason why Shitcore is so damn bad is it has quite nice camo. It is a good part of all this. Speed is okay-ish. although it's very slow and ground resistance, which we can't see in the game, by the way, is horrible on this vehicle, if I'm not mistaken, and you are turning like a truck. But the thing, the most important thing is DPM is trash, amount of ammunition is disgusting, and yes, there is a bug or whatever, you can use your gun depression and you are not exposing your tank pretty much at all, but it's still trash. It is still trash.
Yeah, recycle bin like at best. maybe even something like this. 3 dots. Okay. Next up, okay, this is going to be hard skill. FV215B, my #1 favorite tank in this game. Why? Not because how good or bad it is, because how it looks, how it feels. Like it was crazy good when we didn't have Super Conk, when we didn't have many other tanks in this game. But yeah, even though it is my favorite, I understand it is belonging somewhere over here.
Fava as vehicle, the armor, at least in my opinion, on this tank is not reliable. If you want to maximize your DPM and everything, you want to use extra rations, and oh boy, this tank loves barbecue parties. It's very, in my opinion, I never ever played well with this vehicle, I want to say that. In my opinion, it's either bad or it's either bad. You pick.
As hard as it is for me, it has to stay where it is at the moment.
I will. Okay, I will remove the Estonia flag from this vehicle very, very soon, and it's okay. You will feel so much better, my friend.
Please don't. Okay, bad it is. Let's move on. This is the gun carriage or whatever it is, artillery. It has amazing firing arc, and that's all I know. It hurts when it hits and penetrates. It is artillery with amazing gun arc. And the smallest gun. I had to mention that. Like, look at it. What is this? Oh, okay. We have a beauty over here. 183. Situational, at least.
Yes, either situational, either solid, just because with those tanks you need to be very patient. Both of those vehicles, either Deathstar or Trashburn, they are RNG Fiesta, and either way you can do 6,000, either way you can do 1,000 tops. It's very, very hard. Both of them is the same and different in the same time. Which one of them is better? In my opinion, both of them is literally the same. One of them is tiny touch faster, another have armor which you can't really trust. Either situational, either solid. You pick. For me, they're trolling machines.
I really think they should be as they are over here at the moment. Situational to the FV425, because of what they did to the reverse speed literally gets this tank killed 10 times more. How you are not able to back away. Like, I cannot even think about how many more times have I been able to deal damage to the FV425 simply because of that reverse speed nerf. So much extra damage. And they nerfed the gun handling as well on this tank. So, in my opinion, FV425 is worse than 183.
Sure thing, I can see your point and I can agree with you. One or another way, both of them is RNG Fiesta, at least from my point of view, and I can understand why you are picking this kind of decision, and it's fine. I am completely fine with it.
Okay, awesome. Let's move on. Centurion Action X, or Action Shit as you like to call it.
Indeed. I mean, this tank is very, very controversial for me. A lot of people love it. Some people don't like it. I'm one of the guys which is thinking it's either situational, either solid tank nowadays. There is no way this tank is better than Patton. It's either the level of the 30B or it's either tiny touch better than 30B. Can it be in the solid? I don't know. The speed is fine, gun handling is fine, armor, you can't trust the armor. It's not my cup of tea, let's say like that.
It has HESH.
Indeed, it does. 90 millimeters or 100 millimeters of penetration, right?
Let me quickly check. But is it... I don't know. I really do believe it. Maybe it is just me, but in my opinion, it is better than... no, it is not better. In my opinion, AMX30B is better than this one. Simply because you cannot rely on the armor on either of those tanks.
Yes.
So I think AMX30B is actually better than Centurion.
I would agree with you. They are very close to each other. They are like worth each other, if I can say so. Plus, let's not forget the biggest problem of the Centurion action, which is ammo rack in front. So you are getting ammo racked very, very often.
It is not as good as Batchet. It is not as good as Leo, STB, Udas, not even close TVP. So
no,
yeah, situational.
Yeah,
for now. Like some of those vehicles over here are extremely situational, and some of those vehicles are over here because they are not worth solid tab. And by the way, Action X has 105 HESH penetration.
Okay, could be.
Which is not bad. So, Super Conk, it is definitely good.
Good or hyper good, 1 out of 2. The thing is, what is so damn good about the Super Conqueror, it has very nice armor, and penetrating Super Conqueror even with gold ammunition is kind of pain in the butt. Yes, I know you can shoot it into the frontal mantlet. Yes, I know you can aim for cupolas or for a turret ring or lower plate or whatever, but one or another way this tank is ahead of other heavy tanks, and only one downside for this tank is the speed, but I would say it's one of the best, if not the best heavy tank. Although I don't like it, but I think it's amazing, to be honest.
So, easy question. Your favorite is 5A. Is it better than 5A?
In my opinion, it's better than 5A, but they are completely different.
Yeah, completely different, but I agree. Like all you said, you can shoot the commander hatch, you can shoot the gun mantle. Well, for the start, if decent player is playing with Super Conk, you have to be lucky to be able to hit those things in the first place.
Yes.
Then here comes the penetration rolls, RNG, everything. So it is definitely really good. One of the best researchable heavy tanks in the game. So, Badger. It has the best DPM in this game. It is slow. It has really good frontal armor, especially if you're able to hide your lower plate. But other than that, how often in nowadays fast-paced world of tanks, as we have said many times already, how often are you able to use your DPM? Not too often, not on every single map. Sometimes you are a tourist on the map, driving around, and this makes it a situational, in my opinion.
I agree completely. I tried to play with this vehicle a couple of battles. I tried to have an episode for YouTube, right? And I played three battles, and I clicked Alt F4 of the OBS. It was horrible. It was horrible gaming experience. But it's not my tank. I'm not good with the tank destroyers, especially those, ambush tank destroyers when taking hold down position and waiting for 10 minutes. When in nowadays games is like 3 minutes and you are getting gang banged. So, yeah.
Even though it has the best DPM, it is just me, but it is not better than 183, which can do...
it's not.
Which can do great damage like all the time. So, this one is going to take some discussions. Okay, I'm going to put it over here for the start. Now, the question is, you have a lot more experience with it. The question is it broken or simply hyper good? Let me hear it.
Okay. The thing is, with a Chieftain, a lot of very unpopular opinion right there. A lot of people is thinking Chieftain is broken and Chieftain is super good and Chieftain is amazing. And yes, you are right about that. It's super good, it's hyper good, it's amazing. But the strong side of this vehicle is you can play hold down. your hull is made kind of out of paper, and it's not that easy to bounce the shots from the hull. Arta is hitting this tank for 700, 600. If the T-92 is hitting you, you are going to lose 600 or 700 hit points. The gun handling is extremely trollish, and it's not a joke. The gun handling of this vehicle is worse than a Super Conqueror. Armor is better if we are speaking about the hull, but it can be penetrated in the cheeks or in the cheek in the right side, if I remember that correctly, with obviously heat. I would say in the best case scenario, it's hyper good, and it's very hard tank to play with. It is extremely hard tank to play with.
But is it extremely hard tank to play with to get 3 marks of excellence, or is it the easy tank to deal like crazy amount of damage in?
Okay, now the answer to this question. When I played, we can compare 2 tanks directly. With the Super Conqueror, when I was playing with that tank, I did not spam at gold, and I was playing in the normal way while focusing on the chat and everything, right? I have 3.8 thousand average damage and 1000 assisting damage with a chieftain while having full gold loadout, while having let's say like that, while having everything tuned up, improved equipment and so on. I have 4.2 thousand damage, so it is making 1 shot more per game for me. It is I am speaking about this tank not as about the tank for mark of excellence. I'm not touching it at all, you know. It's not about the mark of excellence, it's about the play style with the tank, and in my opinion it's pretty much equal with the Super Conqueror, maybe tiny touch better in some situations and way worse in other situations. For example, Arta is hitting you so hard you will forget your name. That's for sure. And usually Arta players is hitting Super Conqueror. It doesn't, sorry. Artas is usually hitting the chieftain. It doesn't matter what is your name. So either it's hyper good or I would not call this tank broken, because it's very possible to deal with this vehicle. And I was in the same side of a lot of people right there when people were saying it's broken. I was thinking, I was one of those guys which was thinking that tank is simply super overpowered and super idiot proof. No, it's not. If you are playing, if the new player would get chieftain and it would get Super Conqueror, I can guarantee you that he would play better in the Super Conqueror. I am 95% sure about that. So it's very hard tank.
Fair enough. You have a lot more experience in it than I do, so I believe you. I believe you. Okay, so it is hyper good. Cheater.
I can take my payment from Wargaming now by not saying it's overpowered. Very good. Wargaming, listen.
Okay. All right. So we're done with British tanks. 1 into the recycle bin. Situational tanks. 1 solid. And 2 hyper goods. All in all, I would say quite a decent deck tree. Something for everyone. Okay. Next up, American tanks and Sheridan.
Situational.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's better than Chinese light tank, and it's way worse than French light tank. You have an option. Either way you want to troll with a derp gun, but then you are not competitive. And if you want to use the 390 alpha damage gun, you can connect your shots. It's very, very good, but the scouting abilities of this tank is very, very small and low compared to the other vehicles. So it's situational, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. This tank, when I see it on the enemy side, when I see this tank coming towards me, despite having the best DPM compared to the tier 10 light tanks, it gives me no emotions. Absolutely no emotions. Like, I'm thinking, okay, you can come, I kill you when I'm done with the other guy.
Sure.
But in AMX 105 or EBR, those guys, I actually have to focus. I actually have to think about those tanks.
I would agree with you. So situational.
Yeah. Okay. M48 Baton. Boom. At least
It is good. Yes, because the thing is, it's amazing tank, but it's not better than UDES, or it's not better than. Maybe it's better than STB, but it's pretty much equal than UDES, I would say. It's very, very nice tank. Maybe it's even better than Leo and better than E50M. The thing is, it's extremely hard tank to play with, but the gun handling is awesome. Turret have quite some armor. Mobility is definitely decent. It's 50 kilometers per hour or 45, something like this. So it's very nice vehicle in my opinion.
It is one of my favorite tier 10 mediums as well. 45 top speed. So it is actually one of the slowest tier 10 medium tanks. It has the best view range. It has really good penetration. Gun handling aiming time is 1.9 seconds, which is good. Accuracy is not the best, but
it's working.
Yeah, it's working. TPM, armor, 9 degrees of gun depression. It has many good things. I wouldn't say it is like crazy better than DVP or any other tank in this list. I wouldn't say it is hyper good. So it fits into this good bracket.
Indeed it does.
Yeah, it is like very good, but it is not hyper good. Yeah, as I said, we need like 10 more tabs. T92 artillery, boom, the biggest gun in the game. Now let's move on. D57 heavy tank. It has a really nice auto-loading gun actually, but gun handling is so terpy. That first shot always misses. Like you basically have 3 shells in the magazine. Because that first shot, I don't know why, it is always missing. So derpy.
I agree, unless you are spamming hit, but even with hit, it's very, very annoying tank to play with, and I would say it is... for me, even 50B is better than T57, but I know that T57 is kind of easier and better tank. I completely understand that, but for my style, the 50B would be better. But but it's okay. Let's put that into the solid tank.
Yeah.
And 50B is way harder to play with, and it's more situational, to be honest.
Way harder because of the turret armor. Yeah, it is, in my opinion, it is definitely solid. Auto-loading tier 10 tank destroyer. E5.
Okay. E5. The tank which in the past used to be overpowered because the armor was better on it, and then Wargaming castrated this vehicle, and from that moment that tank became a pile of trash. In my opinion, it belongs into the bad category, and let's get real. The AMX M454 is better tank, and E5 simply don't have the space in the current game, and we have Super Conqueror, which is better in every single aspect, and this is where E5 is belonging. What do you think about that?
Exactly the same. Looking at everything above it, it is not better than those tanks. It has its own fan base. It has its moments. Like every dog has its days, or however the saying is. But it is not in the meta at the moment. You can love it how much you want. It doesn't change the fact. It doesn't change the truth.
And look at the bright side. Your father have a friend now.
My father is Bedouin type 5 and oh, you poor guy, like let's put it over here. God damn. Oh boy. Okay, let's move on. We have E4. We have American tank destroyer with a turret. So this is turret, the tank destroyer with 750 alpha damage. Armor cupola, nothing special. I don't know, dude.
I would say the E4 is the solid tank, and listen me up why. It is like E100 with lower amount of the hit points. And the thing is, you have a turret, you can't side scrap with this tank and don't do that. But when you are peeking frontwards, you can buy the enemy shots, right? They are shooting your track and then you can try to pick or something. I would say either it's solid, either it's situational. It's not that bad. It's definitely better than Chinese tank destroyer and then Foch, that's for sure. So I would say it's at least situational.
Okay, it is just me. Yeah, I have treated this tank the same as well. In my opinion, it is like a heavy tank in a tank destroyer skin, but
Yes.
I really do not like it. Like I really personally do not like it. So situational.
Let it be situational.
In my opinion, it is not as good as 113, Badget, all the other tanks. But if you're talking about tank destroyers, definitely it is not as good as Gorilla, SDRV. In my opinion, it is not as good as 183 because yeah, I can literally one-shot this guy. So, in my opinion, it belongs where it is. Same
Okay.
as Foch B. Yeah, it has its days.
Very nice. Let's leave it there then.
Yeah,
E3.
E3.
Either solid, either good. The armor of this vehicle is very, very, very trollish, and you know that. It is extremely good. The alpha damage is 750, which is nice. If you are missing your penetration, there is always 400 millimeters of penetration alternative APCRs, right? In my opinion, it's solid tank, and it can be pain to dig this tank out when this vehicle is using the perfect positions, right? I mean, hold down position, what you can do for E3 frontally. Load high explosives.
Yeah, high explosives and 100 rounds later, this is dead. Easy. I love it. I absolutely love my E3. I actually have my record damage battle in E3 as well.
I agree. It could be, in my opinion, it's better than E100 and then 60 TP, and we can even put it in good, but it's boring tank to play with.
True. That is true.
Very nice.
Let's put it into good, actually. So, we do not have too many tanks left. Oh my god, this episode is going to be so long. If anyone is still over here, thanks for tuning in. Next up we have M60.
M60, solid or probably solid.
Yeah.
This is faster version of the Patton without armor and with pretty much same gun. Although the stats is saying gun is a bit better on this tank, it's trolling. It is very, very trollish vehicle. It's in the best case scenario solid in my opinion.
Same here. That huge commander hatch as well is kind of killing it.
Indeed.
So now, what is difference between M60 and 30B? They both cannot rely on the armor. AMX 30B has a lot better DPM. I'm like, as you know, from the start, when we did put 30B into the situational category, I have been talking about 30B because I want to raise it somehow. I don't know why. For example, AMX 30B has 3000 DPM, gun handling 0.36, 2-second aiming time compared to the M60's 2600 DPM. Okay, aiming time is a lot better, 1.6 seconds, accuracy 0.33. Yeah, but those two tanks, they have the same mistake, huge commander hatch.
Okay. Let's leave both of them here and let's raise the 50B to solid.
50B.
I tried, okay? I tried to save my tank, okay?
Okay, 50. Yeah, we go over them after we are done. Okay.
Sure thing.
Oh, look how... I actually haven't thought about that before. Look how many Russian tier 10s we have. This is crazy, dude.
I mean,
Because we have only one more non-Russian left. Right? Yeah. Anyway, this one... like, microphone is yours.
I have nothing to say about this tank because it received a buff and I haven't played it after the buff. The DPM recently got increased by this tank by the tons, but I think the gun handling is very, very derpish. I think it's in the best case scenario solid, if I'm not mistaken. I think they are pretty much the same tanks with M60. I mean, they are same and they are different. This tank is way slower than M60, but the DPM is way better. It's like a heavy tank without a lot of armor. In the best case scenario, it's solid, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it has now, after they buffed it, it has the 3000 DPM. Basically, exactly the same gun handling stats with 30B. Same DPM, same accuracy, same aiming time, basically like 30B. Yeah, pretty much 30B actually has slightly better, well, yeah, they are the same.
And it's faster. Okay, we can move the 30B a bit up and we can leave this vehicle over there. You will save your 30B and I will get rid of the T95 Eco 2 or how it's called.
One more thing, yeah, Eco 6. One more thing about 30B, 65 top speed, 410 meter view range. Finally! God damn. Welcome. It is next to the Badger 25T. Well, it is actually next to the Badger 25T. It is not too bad because this gun handling, gives me chills sometimes. Okay, are you happy with it?
It's okay. We can go through this in the end of everything and we can tune things a bit.
Okay, so 260.
Either it's good or either it's hyper good. I don't really like this vehicle, but it's... I know this tank is capable of doing a lot of things, but I don't like it for some reason. I don't know. I like the Z5A more, to be completely honest with you, and I like 277 more. But yeah.
In my opinion, it is not as good as like Chieftain, maybe.
No.
No, so good is perfectly okay, right?
Yes.
Although it can be extremely annoying tank. So D22.
Bad. Immediately, because the armor usage of this vehicle, it's hard to use the armor. It's very hard to use the armor. The DPM is very bad. And backstory of this vehicle. The T22 used to be the best tier 10 tank in the game. When we had special event, I can't remember how it's called, Rampage, not Rampage, something like this, it doesn't matter.
I think it actually was Rampage mode.
Okay, so Rampage mode, and there used to be a missions for this vehicle, and there used to be a big scandal all over the place when a lot of people rigged the missions, right, for this vehicle. And pretty much after some time, this tank this tank was that strong, Wargaming needed to remove it, to nerf this vehicle to the ground, because this tank have the most drama out of all tanks all over the place, in my opinion. So, and now it's just bad. Everyone forgot it. It's useless.
True. Bad it is. But we cannot release the video then because Russian tank in the bad category. Wargaming. Wargaming may skip your paycheck actually after all.
Damn it.
D100 LT.
In my opinion, it is either good or either solid. The camo is amazing, but the speed is good. The view range is, if I'm not mistaken, is not very good, but the gun, oh boy. If the gun is treating you like a king, then you will be happy, but in reality it's not happening majority of the times, and usually you are missing pretty much all your shots when you are sniping. I think it's solid tank, and as a scout it's good, but combination of the things it's not very good. I don't know, maybe it's only me.
I think it is better than Sheridan. I think it is on the same level with AMX actually. By the way, do Do you know what is the accuracy on this tank?
On paper, I know it's actually bad, so it's going to be 0.38 or something.
Oh, 0.46.
Well, here you go.
Yeah,
On the
gun
move
is
you
bad.
On the move, you can hit majority of your shots, but when you are aiming, you are missing majority of them too. It's very, 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 very derpy gun, but it can work as a scout. So either it's solid, either it's good.
Like, once again, it is a bit better than solid tab, but it is slightly worse than 13105, in my opinion.
We need more categories.
Yeah, we need like 10 more categories. Maybe next time. Part 2, guys. Part 2 is coming up tomorrow.
After 1 hour of watching this, people is going to on you this.
No. Okay, just joking. Part 2 is not coming. Never.
Damn it. And
Okay, let's leave it to the good tab now. Let's put it next to the 13105. All right. So, Sniper Snitchel. I really do not like this. I don't like to play with this tank, this kind of medium tanks, but it is just me.
This tank is disgusting in my opinion. It's either bad or either situational, just because it's not, let's say like that, it's not typical Russian tank. It is bushwanker. It's going together with the Starway in the bush and wanking there forever and ever. But there is one thing: Starva have actually a gun which is working and it's way better. So the Key 91 is losing the point in the game, and either it's situational, either it's bad. It's not good tank. That's it.
In my opinion, it is not bad. It still has its days. It has exceptional shell velocity, the best in the game if I'm not mistaken. Accuracy, so it is a sniper. It is like a tank destroyer, back turret, tank destroyer, which moves like a medium tank pretty much. So it is situational. It has some days where it performs extremely nicely. It doesn't have fully rotatable turret, so yeah. Once again, it has its fan base, but in my opinion, it is not going higher than situational.
Sure.
Okay, so 705A.
Oh, very controversial tank. It is situational tops in my opinion. The thing is, the most important thing what is killing this tank is the gun handling, because I was getting trolled and I am still getting trolled quite a bit with this tank, and it's rear mounted turret tank. I think Panzer is actually better than this vehicle, so I don't know. In my opinion, it's situational, and once again, it's not. I know it sounds wrong. Russian tank which have quite bad gun handling, but it is just the case. And people can, if this tank is dealing with a taller tanks than himself, they can pretty much overmatch it into the hole, which is no bueno in my opinion. Plus, on top of that, if the tank is taller, it can penetrate you in cupola, if I'm not mistaken. It's just bad vehicle, let's say like that, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
If I think about it in that way, usually I do not have too much trouble taking it out, so yeah.
Yes,
it is not as good as Panzer or VK,
No.
or so it is in the good place. It is in the good place. 430U, oh beautiful, so it is at least over here.
I think it is hyper good, to be completely honest with you, because it's easy tank to play with, and if you are using your armor perfectly, if you are playing against the lower tiers, then you can go on completely mode and you can deal with the majority of the people, to be honest. It's better version of 113, so it's just awesome in my opinion. Although gun handling is not very good, but you can always compensate that while having hits. So here you go.
It is definitely hyper good, easy mode tank, like easy mode damage tank. You don't have to be crazy good in this vehicle. It forgives you so many mistakes. It is kinda good tank for new players, but at the same time, it is not crazy good tank for new players because it kinda gives you false ideas about what medium tanks are all about. Because if you jump from 432 as your first tier 10 into STB1 or Urus or DVP, like, yeah, those tanks are not forgiving mistakes.
You will take one for the team. It should have a base of the heavy tank, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So, object.
Either it's good, either it's solid.
Yeah, it used to be hyper good or even broken.
It used to be broken.
Yeah, it used to be broken, straight out broken actually. Like what you were able to do with it, but now after they nerfed it, boom, I think it is good.
I agree with you. The thing is, when you are dealing with a good players, you pretty much don't have armor, but in the same time you have still that trollish Russian factor. So I think it's good.
Mm-hmm. Same. Oh, bless you. Yeah. So object good. 277 is definitely solid in my opinion.
277 in my opinion is in the same level as 270. 277 is in the same level as 5A, 100%. It's the camps is completely splitted. Some people is thinking this tank is better. Some people is thinking the 5A is better. So
yeah, this is definitely one very, very solid tier 10 heavy tank. Not much more to say about it actually.
No.
It is like Russian version of the 5A.
Pretty much yes.
Let's go over it now, or let's leave it as our final tank.
I mean, it's a recycle bin. What do you mean? It's completely terrible vehicle. It's crazy. It's disgusting. Pooh.
Okay, here it is. Let's IS-7.
IS-7 is, in my opinion, solid. The thing is, this tank is easy tank to play with, in my opinion. But the skillet players would perform better with 277 and 5A, in my opinion. So it's very good tank, but it's not the best. And IS-7 used to look like this pretty much all the time.
I agree when you say that good players perform better in 5A and 277. I see it, so it is solid. It is not bad by any means. It is really good vehicle to go after. You're going to be happy playing with it, but there are some better tier 10
now
heavy
wait
tanks.
A second, one question for you, my friend. Which tank is better, IS-7 or 113?
Okay.
113. Go down the hill. One tier lower. It's bad. It's that bad nowadays. It's better than 1-1, but it's worse than IS-7. That's for sure.
Is it worse than all those guys?
They are completely different playstyle.
Yeah, okay, agreed. So, goodbye 113. This tank was in the solid tab from the get-go. So, 113 was able to enjoy solid tab for over 1 hour. Because this is how long this episode is going to be, god damn it.
Good luck editing this.
Yeah. Artillery. It is Russian artillery. T-62A.
It is solid, in my opinion. Either
Solid at least.
Either situational. The thing is, the T-62A lost his, let's say like that, lost his place in... why people don't play with a T-62A? Because, in my opinion, people is not playing with it just because 140 is just simply better. It's just better. In the past, 140 received a buff when his turret armor got buffed. And 140 have the better speed and better gun depression than T62A. Other than that, they are pretty much identical. Maybe hull is a bit better on 140, but T62A is still good nowadays, and in my opinion, this tank, maybe it's situational. At least it is in the situational level. I think it's still playable. That's what I'm trying to say.
268.
Situational. Probably.
Definitely. Like
not more than that.
It is not. It is not solid. It is situational. It is not good. It is not solid. Like, we only have one tank destroyer in the solid because of me, because of my bias. But to be fair, 183 is better than those guys over here.
If RNG is treating you well.
Yeah, this one might be solid as well, in my opinion. Simply because it is tough tank to play against sometimes.
Until you are loading heat and you are dealing with, and you are claiming that 2,200 damage.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. IS-4, oh shit. We're waiting for the IS-4 and E100's buffs, by the way, Wargaming. You said those buffs are going to happen in 2019, so we are still waiting. But IS-4...
They still have time left, like 2 months, right?
Yeah. But we haven't heard anything about it so far. Tick-tack, tick-tack.
But hey, look at the bright side, we have a new premium tanks.
And more coming. So...
Really?
No, I don't know. Maybe. Like, couple days without premium tanks already, my hands are shaking, kinda. I want to get another dose of premium tanks. Okay, so IS-4.
Bad.
It is not better than G15B, E5. Yeah, maybe better than Type 5 Heavy, but recycle bin. It can only go down to recycle bin, Type 5. Okay, so 907. Let's scroll up.
Hyper good. Nothing to say about this tank. It's amazing. It's good. It's better than 140. That's for sure. It's just good tank. Yes, it has some weaknesses, but armor is very, very trollish. That's it.
That's it. It is hyper good. 140. What the fuck is this tank, by the way?
I have no...
Oh, 121B. Yes. Okay. Anyway, before we do that, on 140.
I would say it is good because it's better than T62A.
Yes, it is good. I like it as well. It is kind of on the same level with those guys over here. It is definitely good. It is so flexible. It is not as good as those Ruskis, but it is good. Definitely.
We will come to the 279 very soon, and now we have 121B.
Yes, 121B received a buff as well.
I can't say too much things about this vehicle. I think it's just solid, nothing more than that. When I played with it as pre-buffed version, I liked it. Now I would like it even more probably, but it's not epic tank, it's not the best, it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, accuracy is kinda okay, it's 0.33, aiming time is kinda bad, 2.2 seconds actually. DPM 2.7k, mobility 50, view range is good, 420. Gun depression though is bad, 5 degrees.
It's China.
So it's solid, solid at the best.
And
I would say so.
Go
and here we go, from the recycle bin blueprints, 279E. Final EBR gets a friend.
In this category, there is, okay, first of all, 279E. Why this tank is broken? Because it's completely destroying the lower tiers and it's just simply idiot proof. That's why it is broken.
Yes.
And
yes.
now why the chieftain is not in the broken category. Okay, it is very, very big discussion right there, and it can be in the broken category too, but the thing is, in order to make this tank broken, you need to be very good. So we can move it to broken category, but only for good players when they are doing everything perfectly. But keep this in mind, the gun handling is very derpy, and if you are making mistake, you are definitely how to say that, if you are making mistake, you will get punished. But this is where chieftain belongs. Now, speaking about the 279, once again, this vehicle is disgustingly overpowered just because of the armor, right? The gun is good, armor is amazing. Against the lower tiers, you are the king of the hill. You can go in front like Indian while saying, and you can deal with everyone. Against the higher tiers, they can penetrate you while loaded gold, or not necessary with gold, but one or another way, majority of you would agree it's broken. It's just simply idiot-proof tank, and that kind of tank should not be in the game at all, or they should be matched only against the tier 10s. Here you go.
So I added one bracket or one more row. Good player broken. So
Yes,
now
sure,
everybody should be happy.
Yes.
So we are done. We
No,
are
not yet.
done.
We can go through the
I mean,
every
we
single
are
tank.
done with every single tank, and now let's go over it. Let's go over it one by one, because we are not at 2 hours mark yet, so we have to stretch this video even longer. So yeah, okay. Broken. EBR definitely. 279 definitely. Chieftain broken in good player hands. In any other player hands, it is like super conk. Agreed. Okay.
Agree.
Hyper good. Progetto 65, super conk 442, 907. Hyper good indeed, in my opinion. So nothing to change over here. We do not have to move anything lower, above. No. Okay. Next up, 260. Is really good, is not solid, is not hyper good.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah. Granvan, good. Agreed. Once again, we do not have to move it lower. 5A, 277 on the same level with all those guys. I would see that being a case. 105, yes. Not hyper good, but really, really good. We should add for 103... 103, yeah. 105, we should add, like, really good. It is really good, a light tank, in my opinion.
I agree with that, that's for sure. I mean, it's amazing. In my opinion, it is the best light apart Ferrari.
Yeah. It is, they are next to each other with T100LT, but this one is better, slightly better than T100LT. Bobject nerfed. Bobject is good, still extremely, like... forgives you so many mistakes, it is not even funny, but it is good. Grilla, the best sniper in this game, which has like the accuracy all the time, not simply in the siege mode. E3, crazy good armor, hard to dig out from hull down positions. This tank alone can hold town flanks, literally, and this is what makes it good. SDRV, the best sniper, official best sniper in this game. Really good penetration, shell velocity, accuracy, armor versus many calibers is like extremely good, trollish. So it deserves a spot over here. E50M. E50M made it into the good tab. Can you believe it?
And it's completely understandable.
Yeah.
The E50M is having the trollish armor. As wrong as it sounds, I know there is a lot of people which hate this tank or thinking just because on the paper the frontal mantlet is 200 millimeters, that's why this tank is bad. It's trollish vehicle and it's actually very nice if you know what you are doing. It's, in my opinion, it's even better than Leo nowadays, as wrong as it sounds.
Yeah, so they're actually side by side, so I like it. And yes, the frontal turret armor for a tier 10 medium tank is super flat and easily penetrable, but it has kinda massive gun mantle, which is covering most of the, most of the frontal turret. So from long range, you have to be lucky to be able to hit and penetrate it reliably. Leopard 1, buffed Leopard 1 deserves a spot in the good. If you know what you're doing, support move when you have to, like, it is really good in my opinion. This penetration and alpha damage racks up really quickly. Yeah. Anything else? No? It's good. Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
STB 1,
nice.
Good. Urus, really good.
Nice.
You actually wanted to move it up to hyper good, but maybe, I would say maybe because it is you.
Yeah, it could be possibility. It's not easy tank to play with. It's very hard tank to play with, but if you know what you are doing, it's amazing.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. If you are a really good player, it can be hyper good tank, but for most of the players, it is good, I would say. TVP, extremely
still
good.
Amazing nowadays.
Yes.
TVP horse is you are catching enemy making mistake and you are clapping him 4 times in the butt. That's it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but they haven't touched TVP, not even once after it came out.
And imagine how this tank was performing 4 years ago.
Yes, imagine that, guys. Imagine that. Super solid 5A, extremely solid 5A, and 140 as well. Really, really good, I would say so.
Patton and 140. Patton is the horse for better players, for people with experience in the game, and 140 is more friendly tank to play with, let's say like that, but it's still good nowadays. It's good.
Okay, so please go over solid tab. You
M60 is M60 is belonging here because it has pretty much no armor and the gun handling is kind of trollish, but it can work, let's say like that. Bachet used to be one of the best scouts in the game. Currently it lost his value just because there is EBR in the game, there is Ruski Light in the game, and they can outspot you, but you can defend yourself. That's why it's still belonging here. And when the distance is low, you can clip enemies for 2000 hit points, which is nice. 30B, 30B, I am still thinking about the 30B, to be honest. 30B is, can I say that 30B is the same level as T62A? Probably yes, let it be. 30B is quite nice tank just because of mobility and DPM, but the gun handling can be trollish too, and that cupola is annoying and Arta can penetrate you, so you will cry in the corner, but other than that it's okay. 121B, I haven't played with this tank too much after the buff. In fact, I never played with this tank after buff, but I think it's nice. T62A playable, definitely it's okay tank. Now the thing is, speaking about those super heavies, in my opinion Mouse is belonging 1 tier lower, to be completely honest with you, together maybe with the E100, but let's not dig too deep right there. Mouse, E100, Panzer, another Panzer, all of them is in super heavy category, and all of them have a massive amount of armor until enemies are loading gold. Speaking about the IS-7, which I missed, IS-7 is a very friendly tank to play with for majority of the players. I would recommend IS-7 line as a first line when people is starting the game, and just because it's Russian armor blessed by the Putin himself, This is the main reason why the IS-7 is just awesome even nowadays. And yes, it's still competitive. 60 TP is quite good in my opinion. 750 alpha damage is nice. If gun handling is not trolling you, then it's going to be Gucci. The best thing about the 60 TP, you can pretty much play hold down kind of reliable, which I can't say the same thing about the E100, but on the flat ground, I would say E100 is better than 60 TP, just saying. T-57 have an extremely trollish gun handling, in my opinion, and this is the main reason why this tank is not in the good category. Armor of this vehicle is trollish, and you can... the horse of the T-57 is 1.6 thousand damage in 6 seconds. This is the horse, and this is amazing thing by the T-57. Why? That's why it's here. Trash burn, sorry, Death Star. Death Star one-shotting enemies and deleting them from the ground and sending them big wet kisses and the taxi to the garage. That's it, finito. I mean, if RNG is treating you well,
yeah,
situational tanks.
It is amazing when RNG treats you nice.
Yes, usually it's not the case, unfortunately. At least for me. Maybe you are up for a challenge to mark the Death Star with only high explosives.
No. I was crazy enough to give a half go to the Foch 155.
Man,
no.
Good luck. I will cheer for you.
Thanks.
Situational tanks. 50B. 50B is amazing tank nowadays, but you need to be very, very good player in order to make the use of that vehicle, unfortunately. And it's working pretty much only with APCRs, as wrong as it sounds. AMX is a big disappointment after the tier 9. With a tier 9 you are feeling extremely good, but with this with a tier 10 it's not so good as a tank, in my opinion. It's just too weak as a tier 10, and it could be even buffed, and I don't really think people would be mad on it. 705A is quite a terrible tank just because of the gun handling, and it has very boring gameplay. Hug the wall and side scrap there till the sun will raise. So yeah, it's not very nice, let's say like that. 113, the tank which used to be one of the meta tanks back in 2000, probably 15, now it's completely garbage, simply dominated by 430U. Jack Pizda is interesting tank. Everyone is afraid of that vehicle when this tank have a shot in his gun, but whenever Jack Pizda is just shooting, then usually, you know how the things is working sometimes, right?
Yeah.
The Foch B. This vehicle can work sometimes if you are finding the poor soul and you are clipping him. Other than that, it's very hard tank to play with, and it's not the most enjoyable tank in the world of tanks. Same goes for the Object 268. Object 268 is okay tank destroyer. It's not best, it's not the worst, just because of mobility. 50 kilometers per hour if I'm not mistaken, plus trollish armor, but the gun handling can troll you quite a bit and then you will cry. In fact, this vehicle, Object 268, used to have the best penetration in the world of tanks, 450 millimeters of penetration hits. Back in the day, and it used to have epic camo. So this vehicle is nerfed version, to be honest, and that version was when it used to have 850 alpha damage, if I remember that correctly. Trash burn, RNG Fiesta, high explosive shell magnet, and the turtle from behind because it's going back on 8 kilometers per hour. Badger is the tank which is very situational. If you have perfect position, you will pump 10,000, 12,000 damage like nothing if people is making mistakes against you. If not, then you will take one for the team and you will cry in the corner, unfortunately. E4 is the tank which is always taking one for the team into his head. that weak spot is kind of killing this vehicle, and this is the main problem of the E4, but other than that, it's okay. It can bully lower tiers quite well. Centurion action shit is the tank which is getting ammo racket quite often frontally, because ammo rack is in the front. This is the worst thing in my opinion about this tank. Okay, gun depression, nice gun handling and everything, but it's just... you cannot trust the armor of this tank. This is the problem. Also, Arta can penetrate you, if I'm not mistaken. Sheridan is the trollish tank, the light tank with which people is using derp gun and they are doing kind of mistake. Speaking about the competitive gameplay, we can say so. But with a derp gun, I mean, you can make people pregnant and you can smile. Other than that, it's not the best light tank, speaking about the spotting abilities. And but the gun handling is good if you are using 390 alpha damage gun. T95 Echo 6, I don't have anything to say about this tank because I haven't played with a buffed version, but I hear that the DPM is very nice on it. That's it. And K91 Big Sniper Schnitzel, cheap parody of the Esterva Tank Destroyer, in my opinion.
And actually, this one, thinking about this tank, I have heard people actually enjoy it, so now after the buff the DPM is good. I cannot see it being that much worse than AMX30B, so I would actually move it up into solid.
Sure, I would agree with that.
Okay, so bad, Chinese tier 10, it is not as good as 268, so we are not even going to touch it. It is not played by many players, it is not loved by many players, it is not good. Yeah. 121 got killed by 430U, as simple as it is, no gun depression, like it had something unique about this tank, but not anymore now. Well, you can argue it being in situational dab as well, because if you have all those penetrations, all those shots, you can actually get really good damage out of it simply because of the alpha damage. It trades good, it trades really good versus other medium tanks. For example, if it faces T62, which is solid tank, or even if it faces like STB, this tank can trade really good because of the alpha damage. So it is somewhere in the middle of bad and situational actually now, if I think more about it.
But you cannot say this tank is better or the same level as 113, and plus when you are saying about the trading, yes, agree, you will get more use about when you are trading with this vehicle, but you can't forget the thing, you will be down to the one shot after the trades with one tank. Yes, you will kill someone if the gun handling will not troll you. By the way, this tank is burning frontally, and if you are using extra rations, you will enjoy barbecue. Just
okay, saying. It stays in the bad. Yeah, but when I said trading, I wasn't I wasn't saying it is going to trade shot after shot after shot, like one trade,
okay,
here and there. Okay, but it stays. 132-1. Yeah, this is the place. It used to be really good, like compared to other light tanks. It used to be really good, not anymore. Foch B, 750 DPM tank, only good with HE. Type 5 heavy, it can actually be in the recycle bin as well, and no one would notice. It is XP and damage pinata.
But it used to be broken when it used to have high explosive gun, because it was ignoring every single armor, and it used to do 700 in the face for any tank.
Yes, it used to be hyper good or good, but now it is bad.
It used to be broken. Because it was kind of silly, you know, the gameplay itself from the tank used to be just simply silly.
I wouldn't, okay, maybe, the skill cap definitely was the lowest on this tank, absolutely number one. 215B, as much as I love this beauty over here, sadly this is the place you belong in nowadays world of tanks. IS4 waiting for the buffs, as long as those buffs are not happening, bad is your position. E5, same, was broken, absolutely broken, the most overpowered tank in this game many years ago, but World of Tanks has changed so much, it got nerfed, and now, after all the new tanks introduced, it is over here. T-22, once again one of the most broken tanks in the game, nerfed down to the bad category, because you know more about that, but I know that gun handling is complete ass.
Everything is ass on this tank. Literally
Okay.
everything.
Everything.
Apart
So
mobility.
T-22 ass. Yeah, new name. Recycle pin, we have 2 light tanks in the recycle pin, so Wargaming, please take them away from the recycle pin and give them a little love. Manticore, our newest Tech 3 tier 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Manticore is missing just a bit of more DPM and
Yes.
and more shells, and it is going to be a solid tank. DPM and some more shells. That's it.
And Panzerwagen needs some more things.
Panzerwagen. How to fix the Panzerwagen? This is the question.
Yeah, hopefully Wargaming knows and buffs it to the broken category. Like, give it 105 kilometers per hour top speed and...
Just replace the tracks with the wheels and we are going to be Gucci.
Yeah, pretty much. And artillery. I wanted to say anything more about?
Fellas, I know a lot of you don't really... I know some of you like Arta, some of you hate Arta, and this is the class which we can't change in the game. But I am asking only for one thing. Make one clicker per team and life is going to be so much better, it's crazy. That's it.
That's it. Arty is Arty. Arty is doing damage, stunning, not much more to say about that. Yeah, artillery has its own special tier, so... Arty is happy.
By the way, fellas, who managed to watch this till the end, you are the champion, and believe me, I'm going to send you together with Des naked pictures and love and a lot of big wet kisses.
Yeah, if you watched today's episode to the end, say Fosh 155 with HE is broken into comments. Or add that line into the comments somewhere, into your comments somewhere. Full HE Fosh 155 is broken, so we know that how many people actually watched it to the end. From the start to the end. Don't cheat, please be honest. Please be honest. Okay, Skill. Thank you so much for your time. I don't know how much editing it is going to be, but I'm looking on the left side. We have been recording for 2 hours and 11 minutes. It is not going to be. It is not going to be for 2 hours or 2 hours long episode because we took some breaks as well. But you are not going to notice it. Anyway, thanks for your time, dude.
And thank you so much for inviting me. The first pancake was a bit burned, but it was a big pleasure, and I believe this is not the last time when we are going to have a conversation or however to say that differently. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I hope, guys, you are going to enjoy this episode. And most importantly, I hope this episode is going to show you the way for which lines to go, and simply to lead you the way which lines to avoid and not play with them at all.
Yes, exactly, because if you commit to one line, it can waste you so much time if you commit to a line and you're not happy with the tank.
IS-4.
IS-4, yeah. And by the way, talking about future episodes, I already have many ideas where you are going to be involved as well, so stay tuned, Skill. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not getting out from my basement yet. Okay. Anyway, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed it. I do not know what is going to happen next editing, maybe for the next 16 hours. I catch you next time. Skill, any words? Oh, by the way, click the link in this in the description. Go to the Skills channel and click that red subscribe icon. It is going to turn gray if you click it. It is magical, just try it out. Okay, you did the intro, you stole my intro, as you remember, Skill, so now I give you a chance to steal my outro as well.
I never watch videos till then, so it's very, very hard to steal the outro. So, fellas, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure you are dropping a big wet thumbs up towards us. and see you next time. Death Games is out. Peace.
Peace. Oh, god damn. What did I get myself into? Do you remember when you said it is taking at least 30 minutes?
No, you said it's going to take at least 30 minutes or something. I said it's going to take way longer. Excuse me.